So this video is really important if you're doing Shopify dropshipping or e-commerce because of all the economic crises that are happening in the world and how it's currently affecting the e-commerce and Shopify dropshipping space. Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. My name's Camille, known as the Ecom King, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all the different economic crises that are happening in the world right now that are currently impacting the Shopify dropshipping space and the e-commerce space. So these economic crises range from the new variant that's being spread around China and in the Western world, and unfortunately I can't say the name, but I'll put a picture on the screen to explain what I'm trying to say because YouTube doesn't like it, and how this is affecting the logistics side, how this is affecting shipping times and all that type of stuff. So the second economic crisis that's going to affect e-commerce and dropshipping is going to be what's happening in Eastern Europe, and my condolences goes out to everybody over there. And the reason why this is affecting the e-commerce world and dropshipping world is because of the crude oil prices going crazy, and that's making any form of delivery go through the roof. So the sad problems that are happening in Eastern Europe are also bringing tensions over between China and the USA, which could potentially affect us. It just depends on what happens. So the third economic crisis that's really affecting the e-commerce and dropshipping space and business in general is the insane inflation rates that we're seeing at the moment in the US and in the Western market. And this is really damaging profit margins for a lot of businesses because everything's going up in prices dramatically. So I hope from what I've just said you understand the urgency of today's video, and this video is not to scare you or to worry you. This video is just to inform you on what's currently happening in the e-commerce and dropshipping space and how you can plan and prepare for worst comes worst, and how we're currently doing things in our e-commerce businesses to actually keep things running as smooth as possible. So I want to make this super clear, we are still doing 6 figures a month with our dropshipping stores and our e-commerce brands, just to let you guys know that we're still running things the exact same. We've just had to implement some changes to make sure that we can get along with the economic crisis. So I want to quickly go over a massive disclaimer. I am not into politics. I'm not arguing with anybody about what's happening in the world today. Everything that I'm talking to you about in today's video is what I'm seeing affect my current e-commerce businesses and dropshipping stores and what I'm hearing from other people, and I'm just reporting from what I'm reading online and what I'm being told by people like my agents, so I can inform you guys on the best way to get along. So I have created a free Google Doc sheet for today's video, and it's going to contain all the different scripts and all the different links that you're going to need to help guide you through the process today so you can be best prepared. So all we need to do to obtain that free Google Doc sheet is hit 1,000 likes, and it will be left in the pinned comment section and in the description below. So the first thing that I want to cover are the current problems that are happening at the moment with Chinese suppliers due to the new variant being spread around, and I can't say the new variant name because YouTube doesn't like it, so I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. And the reason why this is a current problem is because it's currently slowing down logistics in China, and it's making shipping times really slow. So the best way to combat this problem, if you're currently facing it, because you might have had an email already from one of your agents, one of your suppliers, saying that there is a delay because of this issue, and the best way to get around this is you need to start contacting your suppliers that you're currently working with. And if you're not currently working with a supplier, you need to message them this supplier script before you start working with them, so you know where you stand with them in this certain problem. So as you guys can see on the screen, I am in the free Google Doc sheet, and you guys can get access to this once we hit 1,000 likes. And you can see here it says supplier script, and the supplier script reads hello and then supplier name. So whatever the supplier name is, please put it in here. And then it says the reason for my message is regarding the new variant. Again, I can't say this because YouTube doesn't like it. How is this affecting your shipping times, processing times, and employees? Kind regards, your name. So you're going to want to copy this and slightly change it to the best way it suits you. And you're going to want to go to your supplier's website. So for example, I'm on AliExpress, and what you want to do is you want to go to the contact section and you want to paste that in. And the reason why that's extremely important is because you need to know where you currently stand with your suppliers in China when it comes to this issue, because they can tell you all the information regarding delays, any problems with employees working, processing times taking longer, and they can even tell you if they can see a potential problem happening in the future and when about you could potentially see it. So let's say worst comes worst and the supplier gets back to you and says there is a delay with processing times and with shipping times that could become 1 to 2 weeks, then you might want to transfer to a pre-order model. And let's say you can't find that product on a US supplier or a European supplier, then you will probably most likely be forced to use a pre-order model. And what a pre-order model is, it lets customers buy your products like normal, but they know they can't expect the product straight away because they have to pre-order it, meaning that you're giving them, let's say 1 to 2 weeks known of a delay, knowing that they're not going to get that product that quick because there's some form of pre-model. So as you guys can see in the free cheat sheet, I've added a pre-order model script, and you're going to want to add this to your product page, and it reads, due to high demand, we are currently currently out of stock. We will be back in stock very soon, and for that reason, we are still taking orders like normal, and we will inform you once we are shipping orders again. Because of the inconvenience, we are offering a special 20% off if you order during the pre-order season. So how this works is you want to go to your Shopify website, go to your products, and go to the product description of the product that you're selling or the products that you are selling, and you want to add the notice to the top of the description, and you want to make it bold so people know it's important to read. Now, the reason why you're adding this is because, let's say worse comes worse, you can't find this product on a US warehouse or a European warehouse, you're stuck in selling it from China, and if there are delays because of the issues that are happening with the new variant, then you're going to be stuck to do a pre-order model. Because if you just use the delays, let's say there's a 1 to 2 week delay and your normal shipping times without the delays are, let's say, 14 to 21 days, adding another 2 weeks onto that, people will charge back or ask for a refund because it's taken way too long. So if you give them the pre-order offer, then they know they're going to expect some form of delay, and because of that, you're offering them a 20% discount. Now, the second thing that you need to change to your website if you're going to do the pre-order model is you need to change the add to cart button or the buy now button to say pre-order and save 20% off, or whatever yours is. But you need to have at least the pre-order written in the add to cart button so people know what they're committing to. So how you change this is you need to go to your Shopify themes, you need to go to actions, you need to go to edit languages, and you need to go to where it says products, and you need to scroll down and keep scrolling down till you see this button here called add to cart, and you're going to enter the text that you want to add here. But like I said, you need to say at least pre-order if you're going to the pre-order model. So when it comes to using a pre-order model structure, you need to keep your customers in the loop when it comes to updates, because if you don't, they will cancel their pre-order and you will lose the customer. And the reason how you can make this not happen is by letting them know via email or text updates, saying things like you can expect your pre-order to be shipped in 3 days, knowing that that is going to be the case. And as long as you keep them updated, let's say every few days, then they will not cancel unless they really, really want to, but the chances would be very, very slim. So although the pre-order model structure adds extra workflow to your business, it's going to let you guys carry on like usual and get more revenue and hopefully profit without having to stop selling your products if worse comes worse and you have to stick to a Chinese supplier. Now, something that I'd recommend that everybody starts to transition towards is using USA or European suppliers. So the first way you can do this is by heading over to AliExpress, and you want to go to the toolbar and you want to select this icon here, and you want to say ship to, and you want it to say the United States, and you want the USD as the currency. Once you've done that, as soon as you search for some type of product or some type of category, it will say shipped from, and you select the drop down menu and you can choose where the product will ship from. Now, everything that's coming up right now is shipping from the United States. Now, the only downside to this solution is that you can only ship to the United States. So you can't ship to the UK from this supplier. You can't ship to, let's say, the part of Europe from this supplier. It's only US to US. So that is the only downside to this strategy on AliExpress. But let's say you're okay with doing that. You can go to the product that you found. You can go to where it says shipping, more options, and you can see here the United States via USPS. It's going to take 4 to 13 days. Tracking's available, and it's going to cost $6.09. And the product itself is $4.82. So what you could do is you could add the product shipping into the product price on your website. Now, there is a way you can add shipping prices to your website, which I'll be going over it in a few minutes to teach you a strategic way of adding shipping prices to your checkout that won't damage your conversion rate too much. So the second way you can use this US strategy is by using a company called CJ Dropshipping, and they have an exclusive US warehouse, and you can see here they've got loads of different products in loads of different categories. So let's say, for example, I go on this nose vacuum sucker. You can see here it's going to cost $20, and they've got free shipping, and you can see here it's going to cost me no money to ship the product, but it's going to take 3 to 7 days for the customer to get it. Now, sometimes what companies like CJ do is they actually put the product shipping into the product price. So the shipping might have actually cost $8, but they've actually included it into the product price. So do be aware of that. Now, another example of this is this scrubber, and these two products here are old school winning dropshipping products, by the way, and you can see again this has got free shipping as well, and it's going to take 3 to 7 days. Now, this isn't always the case with CJ. Sometimes they will charge you sometimes from $5 all the way up to $15. Sometimes it can be slightly more. So you just got to work out the best way to do it. Implement the product extra price of shipping it into the product price, or adding an additional shipping cost for people that buy them. And again, I'll be showing you a strategy on how to do that a little bit later on. Now, the downside to using CJ Dropshipping US warehouses is the limitation of products that they're currently offering you to dropship directly from the US. Now, the The reason why there's such a limited range of products, there's still a decent amount of range of products on there, but the reason why there's a limited range is because they only use products from the US that they know are going to sell, so they don't sit on stock and lose money. This isn't just for CJ, this is for things like Ghiorghiu, this is for things like Spocket. They will only install products in their US warehouses if they think it's going to actually sell. So if you found a product on AliExpress that looks like a new winning product and there's not much order volume for it, then the likelihood of finding this on a US warehouse from CJ, Ghiorghiu, or anything like that is going to be quite slim. Now let's say you do fall into that category of people that can't find their product on the US version of CJ or any alternative, then there is a good alternative to this, and this is more suited to people that have found a product and it's starting to do some great daily volume. So if you go back to the CJ Dropshipping website and go to the China warehouse, you're pretty much going to find everything on here because everything is pretty much stocked in the China warehouses. What you can do is you can select your product that you found. You're probably going to find your product in here 9 times out of 10. And once you found that product, you can do something now called a pre-order inventory. And how this actually works is you pre-order the inventory only using a 30% deposit after placing the order. So you can do a full payment or a 30% deposit. Now how this works is you can actually send the inventory to one of their warehouses, and the one being the US warehouse, and you can actually only have to pay 30%. So let's say you order 100 units and you would have to pay $2,000 up front for the inventory. You can pay 30% of that up front and still get it stored on their US warehouse on the floor price. And this can be a great alternative for those that have found a product from China, they're currently doing the pre-order model, or they're currently slowly scaling through China with the delays, but now they want to move to something that's a little bit quicker, but they don't want to risk it too much by ordering it all in bulk and paying it all up front. So that's why this pre-order inventory could be a good option for those in that category. Now, there is another supplier that's really good at US warehouses and European warehouses, and it's called Spocket. And you can see here, once you've created an account, you can see here under search products, US and European products. And once you've done that, you've got loads of different categories that you can pick from, and you can also search for your product. But the same problem again lies with Spocket. There's a limited range of products. Now, let's say you do find your product. You can see here the shipping times, 8 to 14 days, 1 to 3 days, and it shows you the country that it's going to ship from. It's either going to be from the US or from a European warehouse. And you can see the shipping prices are quite high, $15, $7. And if you think the product, let's say, for example, is a $12 product, you're actually paying more for the shipping than you are for the product. So that's how crazy it is. And this ties into the next thing that I want to cover, but I'll get onto that later. So that's one of the biggest problems that you'll find with Spocket and some other US suppliers and European suppliers. And let's say you found a product from the US that you want to drop ship, and it comes with really good shipping times, but it's slightly expensive on the shipping prices. This is where you might want to add a shipping rate increase onto your website. So normally we do offer free shipping on our dropshipping stores, but in times like this, you may have to offer 2 types of shipping: slow free track shipping or priority shipping, but it's going to come at an additional cost. Or you might only want to offer the paid shipping on your website, and there's no such thing as free shipping on your website because you only want your customers to get fast shipping, but you don't want to pay for crazy shipping prices. So this is a good way to get around that. Now you can see here, this is what you'd put on your actual checkout page, and I'll show you this in a minute. And it says, due to the oil prices increasing, we are now having to charge for shipping. Sorry for the inconvenience. We hope you understand. And the reason why I mentioned oil is because that is the main factor why a lot of these shipping prices are starting to go through the roof, because crude oil is getting extremely expensive, diesel's getting extremely expensive, and this is due to the Eastern European tension that's currently going on. As you guys can see on the screen, I've loaded up one of the checkout pages to one of my stores, and you can see where it says shipping method, there's 2 options. Now, like I said to you before, you can offer 2 options, which is a free option, or you can offer just one option, which is the paid option. But let's say, for example, I'm offering just the one option, and this one's going to be just the paid option. So let's imagine this doesn't exist, the free track shipping one. You can see here it says, due to the oil prices, we're currently having to charge for shipping. Sorry for the inconvenience. And you can see we're charging $4.99. Now, you don't have to put the text in that section here because you might think it's too much for them to see or to read, and it might put them off. You could put that on the shipping information on your website under the drop-down menu, which a lot of people might be doing, but you want to make it very transparent so people understand why you're doing it, because if you just charge $4.99, they might just think, no, I'm going somewhere else. But if you give them a good valid reason why, they'll understand and they'll just get along with it. So to give you guys some really good real life context behind this, let's say the US shipping is going to cost me $15 like I showed you on Spocket. I might want to take $5 away from that and put it as a paid option of shipping, and I might want to take the rest of the money, which is $10, and put that into my product pricing. That way the actual shipping cost from the US has been completely absorbed between the paid shipping option and increasing it into my product price. So the last thing that you guys need to take into consideration and plan towards are the crazy inflation hikes at the moment. And as you guys can see here in the free Google Doc sheet, it says increase your prices by the inflation rate by the 2022 rate of the USA or wherever your majority selling towards. So if you're selling more in the UK, do it in the UK. If you're selling more, let's say in Italy, do it in Italy. But let's say, for example, I'm selling the majority of my products in the USA. You can see here, I've got an article and it says here the US inflation rate hits new 40-year high of 7.9%. Now, normally inflation is normal year on year. You normally do get inflation year on year, but it's nowhere near 7.9%. That is what we call hyperinflation, and you really need to fight against it, because if you don't, your profit margins will get eaten up because everything else is going up but your product price. So let's say your Facebook ads go up in price. Let's say your buying your products go up in price. Let's say everything else goes up in price but your product price. So for example, I'm selling this product here for $34.95. Everything's gone up in price but my product. That means I am being destroyed by inflation because everything else has gone up but my actual product. So what you've got to do is you've got to go onto Google calculator or Apple calculator or whatever calculator you use and type in the percentage of the inflation of the price of the product. So I've done 7.9% of $34.95, and you can see here it's telling me it's $2.76. So what I might want to do is just round it up to the nearest dollar. So I would say $3, or let's say if it was 2.4, I'd say $2. Just round it up to the nearest one, or let's say 2.5. Just round it up to what you think seems more reasonable. Now, once you've done that, go back to your product page and add that in. So you can see here, I would change this to $37.95 or $37.99. That's what I would personally do, guys. You've really got to put inflation into your product pricing and everything else as well. Now, if you feel that this could destroy your conversion rate, which I really don't think it would, people have got used to inflation rate now, so it's just naturally engraved into them. But if you do feel like it's currently damaging your conversion rates, I have given you a disclaimer descript that says, due to the dramatic inflation rate increases, we have increased our pricing to keep up with the inflation rate. Sorry for the inconvenience. We hope you understand. If you feel like it is damaging your conversion rates, put that in the description, product description, put that somewhere so people will understand the reason why you are slightly more expensive. So the reason why I'm urging you guys to do this is because the Fed have even announced themselves that they plan on seeing inflation stay at the rates that they are now for the next year or two. So if you don't add this into your pricing, guys, you are going to get destroyed by everything else that goes up but your own products. Now, normally, like I said, year on year, you do get inflation, and you should naturally increase your prices every year by whatever inflation is. But during hyperinflation, you've got to be very aggressive, because if you don't, you will have no profits left on the table. And for those that don't understand why hyperinflation has been going crazy recently, is because of all the money printing governments and countries have been doing. The more money you print, the more inflation goes up. And the reason why they've had to print so much money is because of what happened in 2020. And since then, they've not calmed down on the money printer. They've just kept it going and kept it going. And that's why it's at hyperinflation right now. And with what's going on with the Eastern European problems right now, that's also making it really hard to bring down, because they're having to print even more money. So that's why hyperinflation is going to stay around. And the longer that this global issue occurs with the new, you know what, I'll put it on the screen again, hyperinflation just will not come down. So you have to be very strict with it, and you've got to cut it out when you see it. So the last thing that I want to mention, and the reason why I've left this till last, is because this is very speculative and there's a possibility that it would happen, but it's not very likely to happen, but it is a possibility. So do be aware of it. And this is why I'm trying to encourage you guys to move outside of China, more towards the USA or European suppliers, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Now, the thing that's more speculative is with the tension between the USA and China, because of what's happening in Eastern Europe, with them saying that they need to know what's happening between them and a certain country. They're saying that there could potentially be sanctions on China like they've done to a certain country if they don't cooperate. Now, if that happens, that could happen to your logistics, like your suppliers. So I'm saying that this is not very likely to happen, but there is a small chance it could happen. And if it does, you want to be prepared for it by moving out of China sooner than later. But again, like I said, it's not very likely to happen. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's more of a serious video, but I had to bring it to you guys as an emergency, because I've started to see a lot of these things affect my businesses right now, and that's why I've chose to bring it to you guys now than let's say 2 weeks ago, because I'm starting to really see this stuff affect my own businesses. So I really wanted you guys to get on board and try and plan towards these so you can carry on for the rest of the year, not having to worry about all these economic crises potentially bringing down your own business. So guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you smash the like button. If you've learned something, smash the like button. And don't forget, once we hit 1,000 likes, you will get that free Google Doc sheet in the description below and in the pinned comment.